You can hear the Forest fans then cheering as they await their team coming out. And under Sean Dyche, they're unbeaten in their last 4 and have lost, in fact, just 1 of the 6 games that he has been in charge of. And he has earned 4 points from his 2 Europa League games so far. But Dina Ashton, who is on commentary duty for us this evening here as well, we briefly talked about it with Leanne, about the importance of that Liverpool result at the weekend at Anfield, that 3-0 victory. I mean, it was such an impressive victory as well. That's the kind of performance that will just naturally lead to confidence in this team.
Yeah, of course, Liverpool have got their issues, but you've still got to go to Anfield and perform, and the players were able to do that. And probably Sean Dyche has maybe even been surprised at that level of performance so quickly in what he's tried to achieve and what he's tried to turn around. I think it shows maybe where the players were mentally under Ange, and that freshness that Sean Dyche has brought into the club has reset them very, very quickly. And obviously the Porto result was massive. Tonight feels really big in this competition to jump themselves into those playoff positions with 2 away games up after this. So he'll have talked about the importance, but he's given a few a chance tonight, and you've got to take that as a professional. When the opportunity's there to show what is relatively new manager, that you want a place in his starting 11 for the main games, then tonight's a real opportunity for some.
Right now in the stadium on the screens, they're showing the highlights of that 79 European Cup final, where Trevor Francis's goal was the difference between the two on the night in Munich, as Forest became European champions for the first time under legendary boss Brian Clough, who was Dyche's first manager when he started his career as a youth player at the City Ground. Looking at the team news, are you surprised by the number of changes, Dean, that he's made?
Slightly, because I think when you've got the confidence that they have running through the team, you would try and stick with as many and just keep that snowballing effect with the team. But he's left, a good amount of experience right in the middle of the pitch with the 2 centre-backs and 2 midfield players to give them that solid base. And then around that is where he's made the changes and given the likes of McAtee and Hudson-Odoi in particular, those 2 players, I'll be really interested to see their level of performance tonight, because there'll be 2 players that would expect to play more games than they have done.
I mean, what we did see in the summer, they did spend a fair bit of money, and I suppose this is because they had an extra competition to contend with, and at the same time Sean Dyche now has to use that strength and depth.
Yeah, because they've got injuries as well. Not only Gibbs White recently, but even before that they've had players that haven't been available. Olarena, another one that's been missing for most of the season. And because of the amount of fixtures, you're right, they did have to go and strengthen. They have got a good squad, and he's trying to trust that. And I just talk about the importance as a player. You train every week, you want to play. This is your chance. Don't go and let yourselves down. Don't let that performance be flat. Don't let there be excuses that were maybe not fit enough, because I haven't played enough games. This is your opportunity to show the manager that you're ready to play at a moment's notice.
It's a big night for Zach Abbott, 19-year-old, playing at left-back in this Forest side.
Yeah, but it's wonderful, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, what an opportunity for a young player. You're alongside Milenkovic and Murillo, so you've got to have some comfort in that's for sure. Pretty easy just to, especially if Hudson-Odoi's plays on the left, pretty nice to just have a player like him just to give him the ball and say, off you go, and I'll support you. So big night for him, big night for many, and hopefully they can really tune into the history of what tonight has meant for the football club and kind of use that as a bit of fuel as a player.
Just to bring you some news, there are hundreds, perhaps if not thousands, this is news just reaching us, of Forest fans who are still outside the ground, although it looks quite full from where we are right now because of ticketing issues. So there seems to be some fans who've been held in a queue for 45 minutes or so, which will be disappointing for those who are not yet here. But the teams are in the tunnel, so we are waiting to see them make their way out. A quick word on Malmo. This is their first competitive fixture, Dean, for 18 days because the Swedish League has finished, and by their standards they had a really disappointing campaign. They were the champions previously, but it only ended up finishing 6th, so their only chance of Europe for next season is by winning the Europa League. They haven't even won a game yet.
No, it's been a terrible campaign, and it's the reason the previous manager left his post. And it must be difficult, I think, as a player to finish your season, have to train to a certain level, without that match play, of course, they'll, I'm sure, play behind closed doors, but it's very different to stepping up to this level, and it's going to be very difficult for them. Again, if they don't get anything in this game, you would expect that to be it for Malmo, and how do they go forwards after that? So it's for Nottingham Forest to get on top of that lack of confidence that this Malmo side clearly has.
Teams making their way out. Forest led by Ryan Yates. Malmo by Pontus Jansson, a name very familiar to Leeds and Brentford fans in particular. It is an important one for Forest then, who currently find themselves in 25th. That's just one place outside of the all-important, at least playoff positions, but a point would be good enough for them to get back into there. And as for Malmo, well, they are in 33rd, seeking their first win in this Europa League, but has been, as we were just saying, a very, very difficult campaign for them. You're tuning in to Europa League Live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. Don't forget, we'll bring you updates on all of the Europa League scores this evening, including Rangers versus Braga, while Crystal Palace's trip to Strasbourg in the Conference League is live right now. That's on Talksport 2. You can download our app and swipe between the stations so you don't miss a thing. A wonderful tifo of that final of 46 years ago, with the commentary of, and there's Francis, as we know, Trevor Francis scoring that goal, and another one with Brian Clough as well, adorning the stadium here as they celebrate what was a famous night on the 30th of May back in 1979, the first time Nottingham Forest became European champions. Right now on TalkSport then, it's time for us to see if Nottingham Forest can repeat that feat of 79, defeat Malmo in Europe once more. This game is brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. Let's hand you over to your commentators for this one then. It's the former West Ham striker Dean Ashton, who's alongside your match commentator Mark Wilson.
Cheers, Natalie. Two teams out on the fields, tifo of Brian Clough and Peter Taylor over on the far side of the stand as well, looks down. A long time has passed since Forest were champions of Europe, but they are memories that remain vivid here in this part of the world, and what a great celebration tonight as well for the Malmo players who were European Cup finalists themselves. Teams that have made changes tonight. Forest 7 changes from that great win at Anfield across the weekend. Milenkovic, Murillo, Sangare and Dominguez remain. John Victor comes in goal. It's Morato, Murillo, Milenkovic, and young Zach Abbott makes his first Europa League start at left back. Ryan Yates and Ibrahim Sangare in the middle, with Hudson-Odoi, Dominguez and McAtee behind Arno Kelly Moendo, who's still looking for his first Forest goal after a £26 million transfer. For Malmo, well, they're out of season. They make 3 changes from loss to Panathinaikos on match day 4. Rosengrung, Ikong and Buzalagic are replaced by Rosler, Johnson and Gudjonsson. It's Elborg in goal, Striger, Duric, Janssen and Rosler the back 4. Haksabanovic and Skogmar holding, with Bolin, Berg Johnson and Busanello behind teenager Daniel Gudjonsson, son of Ida. I mentioned his brother Andre scored for Blackburn on TalkSport last weekend. Right, 2 teams out onto the field then. It's the sky blue shirts and socks and the white shorts of Malmo, and it's an all-red kit tonight, the one that they wore in Germany when they became champions of Europe for the first time. And the red and white scarves and flags are being waved around this famous venue. The blue and white pocket away, far right-hand side is Malmo's. 2 teams in a huddle here. Just a reminder, Dean Ashton, as you said earlier, that football existed long before the Premier League, and rightfully so. Forest and Malmo should remember their great history. It is a long time ago, but for many of these people here, it still brings an immense source of pride.
Yeah, beautifully honoured, wasn't it? For those heroes of Nottingham Forest, and for Malmo, of course. And the tifo's magnificent. It's the kit. I love the fact that they've just worn those red shorts, the full homage to the final kit for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, well, they're about to get underway. Forest will go from right to left here. And the goalkeeper John Victor is all in yellow away to our right-hand side, and all in green Melker Elborg. It's not been a great campaign for Malmo. They finished 6th in the Allsvenskan, a disappointing year for them. And for Forest, after a poor start, things are starting to look up under Sean Dyche. and we're underway, and Sangare will get the ball and just ease it over to the far side, and Forest will get an early chance here. I just wonder, all those changes from Sean Dyche, is it just a nod to that team that they're doing exactly what he asked and he's prepared to give them a breather ahead of Brighton here at the weekend?
Possibly. I think probably where Malmo are in the European table says that they haven't had a great campaign, they haven't played competitively for 18 days, and maybe this is the opportunity, if there is one, in this top level competition, to give some players the minutes they have been craving for and asking for, I'm sure. Now it's down to them to show him why they should be in the starting 11.
Yeah, that's right. Got a chance, you've got to knock loudly on the door if you want to get in, and Forest have got an early throw in right over on the far side of the ground. They're going to look to propel this one in, a minute on the clock. It is 0-0 here, and a chance now with the long throw that is headed away on the edge of the 6-yard box by Malmo, and they're looking to try and work the ball forward up towards the halfway line, which they will do, and chasing it is Johnson, who goes down under the challenge, but it's play on, and it's well won at the back by Forest. And they'll have it on this near side. They'll feed it into midfield. And a chance there for Kalimuendo just to get an early touch. And the ball played out wide on the Forest right-hand side. They're looking to advance forward now. Down that touchline they'll go. It's a foot race, but Malmo get there first. Pontus Jansson will clear it. Not too convincingly. Ball headed back towards Jansson. Cushions are headed down. And again, Malmo haven't cleared their lines. There could be a chance here, but they'll go backwards. Here it is with Murillo encouraged to shoot. Instead, he'll feed it across. Shot across goal there. Kalimuendo took it early, but he pulled it past the far post. But a good bright start from Forest.
Yeah, brilliant disguise, wasn't it, from Murillo? As it came across to him playing at left back, as if he was going to shoot, just popped it into Kalimuendo. Just trying to strike it across goal into that far corner, just drags it a fraction. I think that's not a bad opportunity, really. No real pressure on top of him. Just didn't strike it well, looking to strike it with the laces. Came off the inside and curled away from that far post.
Ball cleared forward then by Elborg. Headed powerfully forward by Milenkovic. And now Malmo will pick it up, but again they've turned it over, and Kalimuendo is chasing the ball. He just lost the flight of it there as it dropped over his shoulder, and it's collected at the back by Rossler, who feeds it out and towards Johnson on halfway, and again he's upended. Well, he's only a teenager, and he's coming in to play the likes of Milenkovic, Murillo and Morata. He's going to have to be stronger than that on the ball.
Very much so. Yeah, and I think that's one of the keys to watching certainly the Premier League sides in Europe physically. Now the Premier League, it's such powerful athletic players, and when they get into European competitions, I think you can really see that they overpower a lot of sides.
Yeah, McAtee just upended just inside his own half as he looks to make his way forward. It was Johnson that challenged him unfairly, and now the ball worked across the field towards the far side, and a opportunity for Forest again to get a good feel of the ball. It'll be at the back with Morato. He advances towards halfway. Hudson-Odoi peeled to the left-hand side. Instead he'll go back in field, and Yates will get the ball out wide on the right. They'll roll it down the touchline. And an opportunity here for Forest to put in a cross towards Kalimuendo. Got up high for it, and it's come off a Malmo defender, and it's behind for a corner. He's had a couple of involvements early on, Kalimuendo, and he's done pretty well so far.
Yeah, he has. Looked lively. This is a great opportunity for him, isn't it? There we go, Jesus on the bench. His chance, he's looked sharp. And especially against Pontus Jansson, that will be his weakness, is being sharp in and around. Ball's being played down the side.
Corner going to be swung in, left-footed on the far side of the ground as we look away to our left. 0-0 here, Forest with an early chance. Oh, they're driving towards, and, well, straight into the side netting. What on earth was that, Dean Ashton?
I think Sean Dyche's face said it all. Just turned, eyebrow raised. Whether that was to the set-piece coach, I'm not too sure, but that certainly wasn't what they were after. It's poor from McAtee.
Yeah. I'm not sure you can even blame the set-piece coach for that. That was poor. 0-0 into the side netting. Goal kick for Malmo. Forest, of course, dropping out of the qualification spots due to results elsewhere, so they need at least a point to lift them back into the top 24. They're hoping for significantly more than that. And here now goes Callum Hudson-Odoi, but he's out-muscled, and Well defended by Skogmar. Ball cleared up towards halfway. Forest win the header. Ball brought down here by Sangare. Nice little touch there by Yates. Finds Hudson-Odoi wide on the left, level with the edge of the penalty area. Forest on the attack. Sangare back, gets it away to Murillo. Hudson-Odoi puts in the right-footed cross. It's skied up into the air. It's not cleared yet. Ball bouncing around on the edge of the 6-yard box and headed towards goal. And just wide in the end. It was a chance. A very good chance for Dominguez. He got power on the header, but he couldn't divert it goal-bound.
Well, he was just watching the play develop as it bounced a couple of times in the penalty area. Sangare and Janssen went up for it. And then he just made a little sprint towards the big uns and just stooped, tried to head it, got the power on it, just not the direction.
Yeah, I think Elborg, in fairness, may have had it covered. It remains 0-0 here, and Elborg is on the ball again as he's looking to clear it long. It's not a good clearance, but Sangare rather sliced it over his own shoulder. Ball in the centre circle. Malmo will bring it down. They have it over on the far side. You mentioned there's been a little bit of upheaval. They got rid of their manager. Now Anis Maravac is in charge. He's been linked with a move to join Kim Helberg over at Middlesbrough. So they may be getting a change again here, Malmo. Their season domestically is over and done with. Now a rare chance for them. Striker goes for. Can he deliver a ball to the edge of the box? He does find a ball to the edge of the box. In the D. Shot comes in. It's a low shot from Haksabanovic, and it's well saved in the end by Victor. Had everything behind it, but half a chance for Malmo.
Yeah, Haksabanovic, lovely little fake shot with the right. Just chopped it back onto the left, and then looking to curl it away from John in the goal. Just too close to the goalkeeper. It bent around the defender, but bent in towards the goalkeeper rather than away and inside that far post.
Yeah, you are live on Talksport tonight, across on Talksport 2. Strasbourg against Crystal Palace in the Conference League. Tomorrow night, live on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Oxford against Ipswich. Ipswich, who've snuck into contention in the Championship as they look to bounce back to the Premier League. That will be live and exclusive tomorrow night from 8. Jim Proudfoot with the former Arsenal man Adrian Clark. Ball played forward by Forest, is comfortably headed away. Striger will have it at the back, plays it forward. That was a foul from Murillo, just couldn't help himself there and gives away a free kick. Midway inside the Malmo half, 0-0 here. We've been playing, nearly 8 minutes, Dean Ashton. What have you made of the opening exchanges?
I think it's been a really good start from Nottingham Forest in terms of their intensity to try and pen Malmo back. We were playing with a back three this evening, and will sit in and make it difficult, of course, for Nottingham Forest. But they've done well to get it out to Hudson-Odoi on a couple of occasions already. Yeah,
and here is Hudson-Odoi right on cue, picks up a loose pass, gets the ball away. McAtee on this near side, about 25 yards out from goal, gets it away to Hudson-Odoi. Just stands, he's almost waiting for the defender to make his move, just teasing him with the ball. Murillo will put the cross in. It's not quite dealt with. It'll fall here, and a chance for Abbott. The youngster lashes one goal bound, and it's saved by the keeper. But Zach Abbott, on his first Europa League start, the confidence to pull the trigger, hit the target, but straight at the keeper.
Yeah, Yates did well just to pop it back. Sat there beautifully, didn't it, for Abbott to come onto it, take a touch and strike towards goal. He didn't catch it well at all. He hit the top of the ball, which bounced it into the ground, took the sting off it. And then Elborg found it very easy just to gather.
Still goalless here. And now Pontus Jansson, formerly Leeds and Brentford amongst others, will roll the ball across the edge of his 18-yard box, and Malmo have it midway inside their own half. But Forest are pressing quite high here. They're not letting Malmo out. They're not letting them have anything too easy. Ball will work its way to Striger on this near side, and then Murillo goes, and they really are defending from the front here, aren't they, Nottingham Forest?
Yes, and it was, I'm sure, what Sean Dyche wanted right from the start, which is players that are going to run without the ball to make it difficult for the opposition. It's a non-negotiable for him as a manager, and you're already starting to see that. Sangare just bursts out of midfield to go and close down a centre-back.
Yeah, ball back again with Elborg. Gets it off Janssen. They're just popping passes off to each other deep inside their own half. They're not really going anywhere at the moment. Malmo, 24 times have been champions in the Allsvenskan in Sweden. Ball played forward here, but should be dealt with by Milinkovic, and he will ease it back to John Victor, who will just come out to the penalty spot area and roll it back to Milenkovic, who has it now. Forest, who've got trips to Utrecht and Braga to follow this. Then they go to home to Ferencváros in their final game. So some games that they will feel they can get points from. They got off to a poor start, didn't they? Well, not a poor start, a draw at Betis, but that defeat to Midtjylland here really did hamper their chances. And they've picked up points in their last two, and they're very much in the ascendancy here. There's a ball played into midfield for Forest, but they've given it away. Now there could be a chance on the break here for Malmo. Looking to get some bodies forward, but it was a little bit too slow there. Haksabanovic couldn't get his pass away, and the red shirts came flooding around him. But Malmo retain it on halfway, and they'll look to come out to this near side again. If they are going to get opportunities, Dean, they're going to have to be a little bit more speedier than that in possession.
Yeah, they will. It's difficult when you're sat so deep defending, and when you turn over possession, to have the bodies forward to cause Nottingham Forest a problem. But still, you're right, the quality needs to be better when they do have the possession in their Swedish league. Second for average possession, so it is a team that likes the ball and is comfortable to play out from the back and try and play through this Nottingham Forest press.
Yeah, well, again, they're popping off the passes at the back and not looking particularly comfortable in doing so. Are they going to go for a longer ball forward? They do, but it's picked up by Sangare, and he now will feed it out wide on the Forest right. Sean Dyche applauds, and then all the fans behind him applaud as well to follow their manager, who's getting a tune out of this Forest team at the moment. Here now is Murillo. Forest dominating possession and territory. Sangare has it, edge of the centre circle, feeds it wide now. Here's a chance for Abbott to put in a cross. It's a deep cross, too deep, goes all the way behind, all the way over the goal of Elborg. And behind for a goal kick. 0-0 here, 12 minutes gone. Elsewhere tonight, Aston Villa 2-1 winners over on Talksport 2. A couple of goals for Donyell Marlon. They are now second in the group stages. 12 points for Villa, and a massive win for Celtic at Feyenoord as well. They're up to 17th in the group stages, 3-1. Elsewhere tonight in the Europa Conference League, Aberdeen 0-0 with Noah, Strasbourg 0, Palace 0. That's over on Talksport 2 right now. And in League 2, Grimsby against Tranmere is goalless. 14 on the clock there, goalless here, but I think Sean Dyche will be pretty happy, won't he, with what he's seen so far?
I think so, but you won't want the game to drift, particularly. Yes, they're comfortable so far, but he'll want that intensity in and out of possession, and it can be easy when it feels comfortable just to let the game drift.
Well, they've already had one defeat at the hands of a Scandinavian team. Now, that wasn't when Dyche was here. That was under Ange Postecoglou, of course. As now Sangare strides forward. He powered a ball through there. He was looking for Kelly Moendo, but he just overhit it slightly. But the idea was right, and it's out of play for a throw-in. We mentioned we've got football coming tomorrow night. We've got a bumper day, game day live across the Talksport network each and every Saturday. Kicks off at 12:30, live and exclusive on Talksport 2 as Stoke take on Hull. Two teams very much in the promotion race. Joe Shannon with the former Liverpool women's striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk with that one. All the goals as they go in. Game day live from 1 o'clock with Adrian Durham each and every Saturday. All the goals as they go in. And we've got Coventry, the leaders, taking on Charlton live on Talksport 2 from 3 o'clock. And then we've got a bonus on Saturday night. Spurs Fulham live on Talksport, exclusively live from the Premier League, 8 o'clock on Saturday night. Here come Forest again. Playing the ball in the centre circle. Milenkovic has it. Looks up. Malmo have got a line of 5 midway inside their own half. Just spread across the field as they set back. Now the ball over the top. It's out for a goal kick. This is going to provide a test, isn't it? Like you said, they're not just going to come in and make it easy for Forest. They're going to make them work hard.
Yes, they are. They're in a really good defensive shape, like you said, with that 5 at the back and 2 in front. And it's down to Nottingham Forest to break that down. Width could be key. Switching the play early to shuffle that Malmo defence across, try and catch one of them out that maybe is just sleeping. But the only thing you have with making that many changes is there much fluidity between those players in a match situation? That can be the issue sometimes.
Yeah, certainly can. You are listening to Nottingham Forest against Malmo in the Europa League live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. Forest popping off the passes. The ball inside the centre circle. Here's Sangare, gets the ball away. Over on the right, Abbott has it, will come back. Forrest just playing now here with Yates. Sean Dyche on the edge of his technical area in his club tracksuit. Ball knocked out for a throw-in, and Forrest will have a chance here as Murillo comes forward to take it. The ball back in play. We'll check in at Ibrox in a moment, see how Rangers are getting on. They very much on the outside looking in when it comes to European qualification. Had a nightmare start to their campaign. Forest have it over on the right, attacking the goal away to our left. But again, Malmo just sit in their shape. They're asking Forest to make the running, and at the moment, they're struggling to break down this stubborn Malmo side. Ball played forward, that'll go all the way through to the goalkeeper. He'll collect it. Let's head up to Ibrox then for the first time. Paul Mitchell is watching Rangers against Braga.
Well, it's Rangers 0, Braga 0, but that's only thanks to Jack Butland in the Rangers goal. He saved brilliantly twice from Ricardo Horta. The man who scored at Celtic Park was looking to do a Glasgow double, denied after 30 minutes of fine save by the goalkeeper, going low down to his side, and then he had to race from goal to block his shot just 2 minutes later. Rangers 0, Braga 0.
Cheers, Paul. We'll keep checking in tonight. Will it be a Glasgow double after Celtic got that big win earlier on in the Netherlands? Forest still on the attack, but yet really to create anything. That really the early chance that fell to Kalimuendo when he pulled his shot just across the face of goal, the nearest that Forest have come so far. The City Ground waits on a fantastic night for these two famous football clubs. 46 years ago they were in the European Cup final, and Forest hoping to progress into the Europa League latter stages, but they've given the ball away. Johnson will pick it up, but again he goes to ground too early, but this time he does get the whistle and he does get his side a free kick.
I just wonder whether Sean Dyche will be thinking, OK, they're trying to be quite intricate, like you said, popping it through nice and quickly, but it's intricate, there's not much room. We've maybe got to keep it simple really to start with. Can you get it wide, get crosses in, bodies in the box? Because at the moment it's a little bit easy for Malmo just to sit there and soak up the pressure.
Yeah, we mentioned 7 changes for Forest. We knew that Morgan Gibbs-White is out with a knock. The other 6 are all on the bench, so Dyche can change it as Malmo make a rare foray forward over the halfway line. 0-0 if you just joined us here. Forest dominating possession, but not really got a great deal to show for it just yet. Malmo play it forward into the final third, and then they promptly knocked the ball out of play. That was somewhat disappointing from Hugo Bollin. 5 goals in the league for him, but he'd want a better pass than that. He's just passed it straight in the touch, and Forest get it back. And you can almost, there's a sense of the crowd just waiting for something to happen at the moment.
Yeah, they're waiting to be to get off their feet, and that'll only happen if, as players, you give them something to cheer about sometimes. So that's why you want to get it out to Hudson-Odoi, get him running at the fullback, get this crowd back involved. It's all pretty passes and feels quite nice, but going nowhere really at the moment, Nottingham Forest. And when the team is sat there in their positions defensively, it's down to you to run off the ball to try and drag them out of those positions, not just sit in front and play the passes for them to watch.
Yeah, well, here is a chance for James McAtee to bring the ball forward. Has it just in front of the dugouts, gets it back, and again it's almost like walking football at the moment. There's not a great deal of movement from this Forest team. Now they'll move the ball wide. Abbott takes it on his instep, drives forward now, looking to make defenders make decisions. Ball out wide, gets it back. Abbott, can he produce a cross? He whips one into the 6-yard box. There was nobody attacking it in a red shirt. Goes all the way through to the near side. They'll recycle possession. Murillo has it 25 yards out, left-hand side of the penalty area. Gets it away to Sangare. Is he going to shoot? No, he'll pop the pass away. Here's Abbott again. He's going to unleash a shot. This time it was over the crossbar. That was a little bit better from Nottingham Forest, but again, it's not a shot on target. Still 0-0.
No, it's not. I don't think that was the right choice there from Abbott. The one earlier that he had, I thought was the right decision. That wasn't. That was too much of a risk from that distance when he could have played it wide, but his ball in before that, absolutely outstanding. Crying out for somebody to get on the end of. Sean Dyche, yes, he clapped the cross, but he shook his head. Where were the attacking players? Where was Hudson-Odoi at the back post? That's your job. Get in at the back post when it's on the opposite side.
Yeah, that was a great ball in. Deserved something on the end of it. Forest have it on halfway again. Kaluendo brings it down out of the sky. Will earn a throw in for his side, which Hudson-Odoi retrieves the ball, wants to take it quickly, and Forest are back in possession. 20 gone already here at the City Ground tonight. Remains 0-0. Forest who will entertain Brighton at the weekend. And that'll all be part of the Game Day Live show on Sunday with Sam Matterface. I think you're part of that as well, Dean, with Perry Groves on Sunday.
I certainly will.
Where are you going?
I'm in the Midlands. Big derby, Villa Wolves.
Villa flying at the moment. We watched them at Leeds last week. Big win there. They've won again tonight. And they look to continue their rise up the table. Sean Dyche's side are looking to follow them up the table as well. They'll be at home to Brighton on Sunday. 0-0 here. First job, Europa League qualification at the moment. It's far from guaranteed. Here's Hudson-Odoi on halfway. Little drop of the shoulder. Feeds it inside now to McAtee. Forward come the Garibaldi Red. They'll feed it wide. Here's Abbott. Is he going to have another shot? No, he'll drive across in, and it's turned behind. Better move, quicker, more incisive from Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, and he's getting involved, isn't he? Abbott on that far side. As soon as that got played into McAtee, he was on his way. Really good run from Dominguez. Just took Busanello out of position, opened up the space for Abbott. He picked the right choice, just tried to play it in low, the defensive work.
Here's a chance, another in-swinging corner. Referee's just stopped play. He's wandered into the 6-yard box. He's having a word with Ryan Yates and the Malmo player, telling him no pushing and shoving in the 6-yard box. Will the corner be better this time? This time it's floated in. Well, it's not much better because Johnson heads it out unopposed on the 6-yard line. So 2 corners, 2 poor deliveries so far. Murillo heads it back into the edge of the penalty area, and it's eased away by Rosler on that far side. And well, on a night like tonight, Dean, when you're struggling to get near the goal, you've got to be better than that on set pieces.
Yeah, so it's such a frustration, isn't it, for manager and players and the supporters when you all get set and then the delivery's not right. And that's just been the issue. A little lack of quality and a lack of urgency, I would say, from Nottingham Forest early on.
Yeah, just seen Marato go down. He's been caught. Referee's given a free kick just inside the Forest half. He's in the centre circle. He's hauled to his feet by a teammate. He will get up and ready for action. 0-0 here. We're just over halfway through the first half. Not too many chances. Tranmere have taken the lead up at Grimsby. They lead by a goal to 0, and it's still goalless. Rangers, Braga, Aberdeen, Noah, and Strasbourg against Crystal Palace, all goalless as we remain at the moment here at the City Ground. Murillo gets it away. Not the best pass to Sangare, but he does well. Tries it. Look for Calimundo. And that was a better pass again from Sangare. Just got caught out, but the idea is a little bit more pace on the pass.
Yeah, a little bit more urgency, wasn't there, in the way he stepped in and tried to play that into Calimundo. Brilliant from Janssen, by the way, at full stretch to just stop that ball going through to the striker.
Yeah. Here now on the near side is Murillo again. The City Ground waits and looks. Can Forest get a lead here? McAtee, edge of the penalty area, right hand side, just waiting, looking for things to open up. Milenkovic will fire the ball out wide to Abbott. Abbott will feed it down the touchline. He's looking for Dominguez. Dominguez down by the corner flag, tight for room, lays it back to Abbott. Abbott now will stand up the cross, but it's near the keeper. Keeper clutches it right underneath the crossbar. Melker Elborg, and he'll come out, and again nothing comes at the end of the move. Abbott's certainly seen a lot of the ball on his Europa League debut, but a couple of crosses he'd probably like again.
Yeah, obviously we'll be disappointed with them, but I've got to say his brightness has been the biggest positive so far for Nottingham Forest on that right hand side. He's been involved in most things.
He has, and here now is a chance from the edge of the box. Shot comes in, parried by the keeper. Dominguez's effort lacked any real pace, and in the end Elborg comfortably down and collects the rebound with 25 on the clock. 0-0. Sean Dyche is still barking out instructions. It's very much a work in progress despite that brilliant result at the weekend. Much change if you just joined us. 7 changes for Forest tonight. And as it stands, they're dominating but not yet creating any fantastic opportunities. Still goalless here. Now again Dominguez, first time ball looking for McAtee, but Janssen was across and that ball's out of play. It'll be a throw in to Malmo.
But you can just sense with every slight miss pass, it just saps a little bit more out of the stadium, a little bit more out of the Nottingham Forest team. Just maybe lacking a little something, a little confidence just in the half so far.
Yeah, here comes Murillo, goes past one, a driving run forward. Now he'll feed the ball out to this near side. Yates looking for Kalimuendo. He feeds it back to Hudson-Odoi. Looks to cut in. Went past one, bundled over. Not happy with the decision there, the visitors. It was Bolin who upended Hudson-Odoi, and this is a really good set-piece opportunity. About 25 yards out from the goal line. It's only about 5 yards in from this left-hand touchline, but this is all about the delivery.
Yeah, but better, isn't it, from Hudson-Odoi? That's what you are. You're a dribbling winger, so go at defenders, commit them, win a free kick, or if not, get past them and try and deliver yourself. It's much better from Hudson-Odoi. Get tired of seeing a player like him receive and just pass it back to the fullback. Go and do it yourself, and now they've got a great opportunity out wide to deliver.
Yeah, Hudson-Odoi and McAtee stood over it. Everybody back for Malmo. Two-player wall. Hudson-Odoi swings it in towards the far post. Keeper punches it just a little bit too high for the onrushing Forest attackers. Keeper punched it out over on the far side. Sangare, I think he's going to let that ball roll out for a throw-in. What did you make of the delivery there?
Like you said, just a fraction high, gave the keeper the opportunity.
Well, here's a chance for Yates from the edge of the box, and he strokes it in. Milenkovic laid it back, and Ryan Yates, a local lad, on a famous night for Forest, strokes it into the back of the net, and Forest dominance pays off. Forest 1, Malmo 0.
Quick thinking from Nottingham Forest, a quick throw on that far side, just caught Malmo out. They weren't switched on. Once that ball got down the right hand side, it was cut back. The deflection was very favourable to Yates, who just stepped onto it, and as a midfield player he just passed it into the net, as he would do passing it out wide to his fullback. He kept it really simple. He stepped onto it, he got a clean side foot on it, and it whipped past Elborg into the middle of the goal from the edge of the area.
Yeah, keeper may have been unsighted. Milenkovic pass actually did come off a Malmo play. It fell invitingly 14 yards out, right-footed, side-foots it into the net. He's one of our own, sings a City ground. It's Ryan Yates who's put Forest in front. They were waiting for something to happen, and Yates has made it happen. Forest 1, Malmo 0, and now things get a little bit different.
Yeah, it should do. It just lifts this crowd, doesn't it? We were quiet. It was a brilliant finish from Yates. So often you see players in that area lashing at the ball, thinking they've got to put the power on it with the laces. He didn't. He just stepped onto it. It was a really crisp side foot that just beats the keeper because of the pace.
Yeah, 1-0 here. And goals have been an issue for Malmo. They've only scored 2 in their 4 games so far. They lost 2-1 to Ludogorets. They did get a 1-1 draw with Dinamo, but failed to score against Victoria and Panathinaikos. As now Forest have a free kick inside their own half, and all of a sudden it's a different mood around this famous old ground. I know that Natalie said there were problems with tickets, people getting in, but I'm looking around it, barring the segregated bit behind the goal away to our right, there's not a spare seat anywhere.
No, well, you should expect that. Good support, isn't it? Nottingham Forest, and big night, European football back. Why wouldn't you?
Oh, lovely play, Sangare. Just let the ball run underneath his foot and left it for Milenkovic, and now Forest are starting to attack. Malmo have been warned. They're behind now, courtesy of that Yates strike. Forest about to cut loose. Scored 3 at Anfield. They arguably could have and should have had 4 as well. Got 1 disallowed. But they're looking the mood now. And all of a sudden there's a little bit more pace about the play. The passes are being a little bit more crisp between the red shirts. Here now is Yates, the goal scorer. Sangare seems to improve every time we see him now here. You're live on Talksport at the City Ground. Sangare looks for the give and go into the box, just wouldn't sit for him to get the shot away. Clutches his head in his hands and the ball cleared away, but that was better.
Yeah, and he has been one of the best players in the game so far, Sangare. He's had the urgency to step forwards a couple of times. He did then, lovely little 1-2. Just didn't have what he was going to do in his mind once he did receive it back. Needed to be a quick movement to get the shot away. It wasn't, and Janssen was across to step in.
Yeah, all on halfway. Forest have it. Reminder, Game Day Live 3 live and exclusive national radio commentaries. 12:30 Stoke Hull in the Championship. Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. And 3 o'clock we've got the leaders, runaway leaders Coventry, as they are in action against Charlton at 3 o'clock. And then at 8 o'clock, live and exclusive on Talksport, it's Spurs against Fulham. All over on the centre circle. Again, Dyche animated in his technical area. Ball given away by McAtee. Johnson does well to find a teammate who then goes to ground. I think he's got a bit of a soft free kick there, the Malmo player, but they'll take it nevertheless, right in the centre circle. Yeah, Haksabanovic there, just feeling a little graze on the sock, I think it was, and down he went. The referee just giving the free kick and a tiny bit of respite because they're well on top now, Forest. Yeah, this game brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. Plenty of European football across the Talksport network again, as Johnson that time thought he had won a free kick and the referee waves it away. It's going to be a tough night for the youngster, only 19. He's having to work hard to get even a kick at the moment, as Forest dominating now. Ball over the top. The subs warming up. Calawendo brought down right on the edge of the box. He's done really well there, and the referee, I think he's about to bring out a yellow card here. Is that Pontus Janssen on the ground? Calawendo's done really well here because the ball was in the air. He's jumped up in the air to control it, but as he controlled it, he's been nudged from behind, and the referee's got a yellow card in hand, which he brandishes to the former Leeds and Brentford man, and this is a free kick in a great position. Yeah, well, it was a great knock over the top from Morato. He saw the run from Calawendo, and the one thing Janssen hasn't got is pace. Calawendo was away from him, and he took it down brilliantly. Just cushioned it on his thigh and across Janssen, who actually couldn't really get out of the way, and almost injured himself in the process. But with only one defender there and a chance for Calawendo to run in on goal, it was always going to be a yellow card. Yeah, free kicks about 19 yards out from goal. It's probably, 7-8 yards to the left of the goal as well. Hudson-Odoi, you would imagine right-footed would suit him, but Murillo is there as well. McAtee has ventured away now. There is a Forest player, not quite on the end of the wall. He's not allowed to be. He's a couple of yards away from the end of the wall. That's Sangare. He looks to be... You almost imagine you want to drive this one straight at him and hope it goes through the wall and in. But will Hudson-Odoi get the opportunity here? He lines it up. He steps forward, hits it into the wall. He doesn't get another chance as Janssen hammers it long and downfield. And all the way through at the other end of John Victor. I was expecting a little bit more there from Hudson-Odoi. Yeah, so was I. It was a bit too casual, wasn't it, the run-up? And I think that needed a Morgan Rogers from the weekend to really whip up and over from such a close distance. Yeah, here's Abbott driving forward for Forest. The youngster, this is third senior start tonight. Sangare has it, middle of the Malmo half. Looks to feed it forward. Nice little turn. Dominguez goes down, bounces back up, but it's going to be dispossessed over on that far side by Busanello. Clears it to Johnson. And there again is Milenkovic just to take it off of it. It is, without being disparaging, it's like watching a man play a boy at the minute, isn't it? Yeah. It's probably not much fun at the moment for Johnson, who's still got time to get on the weights, put a bit of bulk on, and then maybe come back. Yeah. This is what they call a learning curve for the youngster. Comes from great stock, of course. I mentioned his brother scored for Blackburn in the Championship. Talksport 2 a week or so ago up at Deepdale as Blackburn beat Preston that night. Forest lead here by a goal to nil. You're live on Talksport. Mark Wilson, Dean Ashton, Natalie Sawyer here. Producer Sal with us tonight as well. As Callum Hudson-Odoi has it. Cuts in off the touchline. 30 yards out from goal. Looking for a pass. Finds one. Malmo just sitting deeper and deeper at the moment. Milenkovic feeds it to Abbott. Abbott gets it away. Dominguez takes it from him. Looks to get it back. Is Abbott onside? I think he is. He's going to drive in another great ball into the box. And it's headed away. In fact, he's going to go out for a throw in here. But we mentioned earlier on his delivery hadn't been too good. But he's put a couple of belters in since then.
Yeah, and Sean Dyche is great to watch. He turns to Steve Stone, a winger himself, and says 2. That's 2 that they've missed. 2 brilliant balls in from Abbott. 2 that are screaming to be headed into the back of the net. It just needs the effort. That's all it is. It's an effort to make a run into the box, be in there. If the ball comes in, you can head it in. Not enough bodies in there.
Here is Murillo. Oh, he went for the long throw. It slipped out of his hand, but it gets flicked onto the near post. And again, there's nobody in a red shirt reacts. Sangare will get it edge of the box. Gets it back here to Murillo. Lays it back to Hudson-Odoi. Works it onto his right foot. Curls it in towards the far post. It's headed away. Dominguez will retrieve it right over on that far side. There's been some good stuff going into that box, and at the moment Forest not getting on the end of it. Yates strike their only goal so far. Ball with Yates, the goal scorer, in the centre circle. Feeds it wide on the far side. 36 gone here at the City Ground. It is 1-0. And Malmo will clear it out for a throw in, but there's just signs that Forest are starting to find a few more gaps now. Yeah,
and I talked about that fluidity that the players might not have, having not played together much this season, this starting 11, but give them time. They're quality players, they'll find it.
Yeah, they will indeed. Here's Hudson-Odoi, stands up the cross, it's too deep and it goes behind. There's been a goal over on Talksport 2, Strasbourg 0, Crystal Palace 1, and Leanne Sanderson was talking up Tyreek Mitchell earlier on. Well, he's got the goal. Palace in front in Strasbourg. Big night for Palace. They've had a slip-up or two so far, but they are in front. You can listen to that. If you've got the TalkSport app, you can swipe left and right between the two. And that means that Palace, as it stands, will be third in the Europa Conference League tonight. A lot can happen. You can listen to that, the remainder of it, on TalkSport. First time ball here. Kalimuendo has it. Feeds it into Hudson-Odoi. Pulls it back. Kalimuendo shoots. Great save. I just wondered there if Hudson-Odoi was taken out after his pass, but he was unselfish. He took one for the team, and Kalimuendo's shot is well saved behind for a corner.
Brilliant one-touch play from Nottingham Forest, and you're right. Hudson-Odoi, I think he just trips over, actually, the defender who goes sliding in, but Kalimuendo takes a great touch, bodies in front of him, flashes it low. It's a cracking save from Elborg down to his right-hand side. Just needed to be closer to the corner, really, Kalimuendo, but there's so many bodies. He did well to get it through.
Yeah, he did. Here's Hudson-Odoi with a corner then. Forest leading by a goal to 0. Looking for a second here. Ball floated. Free header! Oh, it's straight at the goalkeeper. Milenkovic it was who arrived late. He got everything on that, but he's hit it straight at the goalkeeper.
Well, he hit it flat, didn't he? Hudson-Odoi right to the back post. Milenkovic is free. You think, go on, just go and power that in, but he mistimed the flight. He didn't read it. He was actually too far under it, and he ends up cushioning it to the goalkeeper rather than powering it past him. He has to stretch so far that he cushions it into the goalkeeper's hands. Elborg getting busier. He might be busy again. Here's a shot from McAteer's block. Sangare picking up the pieces as well. Finds Morato, and Forest dominating here. Malmo just had one shot. That came back in the 7th minute of the game. Since then, all Forest. And Ryan Yates' goal on 28 minutes, the difference on the scoreboard. Ball on halfway. Milenkovic feeds it wide to Abbott. Dominguez, a willing runner down the sideline. Looks now to work it. Can he get a cross in? He'll lay it back. Forest continuing to dominate here. Sangare has it on the near side. Hudson-Odoi on the touchline. Now eases his way down. Wants a foot race. Gets a left-footed cross in, and it's hooked away and hammered away by Larsson. And now the ball with Forest again. Malmo just cannot get out. No, and that's what they've done a lot better, isn't it? Since the goal, Nottingham Forest, is they've stopped Malmo even playing out. They're winning that ball back very quickly and keeping the momentum and the pressure. Here now is a chance for Yates. Feeds it wide to Abbott. Tries to stab the cross in. It's blocked. We'll go back to Abbott. Finds Yates again. Everyone in a
Malmo blue shirts within 25 yards of the goal. Floated cross, Calimundo gets a header on it, it's hooked away towards halfway, but again there's nobody in a blue shirt anywhere near it. Forest, like a training exercise, retrieve it again and come forward again. It's wave after wave. Sean Dyche should love a second goal before half time. Can Forest deliver one for him? It's now the ball played forward here. Yates has it. Wide on the right they go to Abbott. He's seen an awful lot of it tonight. McAtee back to Abbott. Can he get the cross in? No, he can't, but he'll win his side a corner. They're keeping him busy down that right-hand side.
He's been a great outlet, hasn't he? On the right-hand side, Abbott. Because Dominguez is clever, he'll move in towards McAtee, open that space up for Abbott to get back. Skogmar and Busanello. Haksabanovic not getting back, doing the defensive work that they should be.
Can they find a better corner here this time? Ball swung in towards the 6-yard box, headed away by Janssen, a good header as well. But it's picked up. Oh, now there's a head on. Two Malmo players have clashed heads here. That's an unfortunate one, so the referee will stop play. We've got around about 4 minutes to go to the break. Lots coming up then. We've got live exclusive commentaries. 3 of them on Saturday, on Sunday as well. We're live in the Premier League. Palace, Manchester United. Exclusive on Talksport. Adrian Durham will be there with Joe Shannon and the former Watford captain Troy Deeney. Then it's Game Day Live with Sam Matterface, Dean Esson and Perry Groves. All the goals as they're going around the Premier League, the EFL. And then on Monday night, we're live back in the Championship as Birmingham take on Watford. Live on Talksport 2. Hugh Wilson-Croft, Nigel Adley and the former Watford striker and Birmingham striker Troy Deeney. I wonder who he wants to win that one. We'll find out on Monday night. Producer Sal wants Birmingham to win. We'll find out. Only place you'll hear it on national radio is on Talksport 2 on Monday night. Ball at the back here. Forest leading by a goal to nil. The Malmo fans are still singing. They're bouncing up and down. I've only just realised because we've not had to look down that end of the field for the last 35 minutes. Ball out over on the far side. Here now goes Abbott, gets it back. We'll head up to Ibrox in a moment. Get an update there, see how Rangers are getting on. Ball forward, he's looking for Hudson-Odoi. Just had to wait for it. Takes it beautifully. Drives towards the edge of the box. Hudson-Odoi! And he's just put it wide of the target. It took a deflection. It hit the stanchion behind the goal. It looked like it nestled in the corner, but it's just wide.
Yeah, it was a brilliant run though. Fake to come short and then darted inside. The ball over the top. The first touch was excellent. Just took it into his path. Took an extra touch away from the defender, Stryger, and then as he just takes the strike, the deflection takes it away from Elborg's goal.
When he's direct, Hudson-Odoi, he just looks a completely different level, doesn't he?
He does. He's got so many great attributes that sometimes you just, like I talked about earlier, don't play it back. Go and use them attributes you've got.
Rosler and Murillo are being given a talking to now by our official, Harm Osmers of Germany. All going to be delivered from that far side. Forest 1 up. They're going to play it short this time. Can they find a delivery here? They'll get the ball back. It's going to be floated towards the far post. Free header! Oh, what a save! Yates header, but it's turned in! On the line! And Calimundo has his first Forest goal. Yates header superbly saved by Elborg. But there was Arno Calimundo to tuck it in. Forest double their lead. Nottingham Forest 2, Malmo 0.
Well, Sean Dyche does get the second goal he craved. A brilliant bullet header from Yates. A magnificent save from Elborg up to his left-hand side. But while everybody's watching, what should you do as a striker? Calimundo onto it like a flash, took his chance, just swivelled, hooked it back into the empty net. That's what you do as a striker. There are the goals that you work on day in, day out to just gobble up when they come along. Brilliant centre-forward play.
Yeah, Yates header did everything but score, but there's Calimundo, turns and swivels and puts it into the net. He's been bright, he's been lively. He's finally got his first Nottingham Forest goal, and Forest lead by 2-0 here, and it looks like it should be a straightforward night at the office. A goal from close in, a poacher's goal from Calimundo, and Forest 2, Malmo 0. Let's get an update, if we can, then from Ibrox just before half-time, where Rangers take on Braga in front of Paul Mitchell.
And it's Rangers 0, Braga 0, but Rangers might be about to get a penalty. The referee's just been called over to the screen. Rangers endured a very torrid opening 31 minutes, but ever since then they've managed to get themselves moving forward. Connor Barron's playing particularly well. Gassama to Danilo, denied by Horta just moments ago, but the referee's currently looking at his screen to decide whether Rangers are going to get a penalty. The play had moved and stopped coming back towards the halfway line, but at the moment we're in stoppage time in the first half. It's Rangers 0, Braga 0. The referee continues to look at the monitor.
Cheers, Paul. We'll update you on that one. Forest looking for a third goal here. Calimundo played in behind, but it's cleared away. 2 minutes added on at the end of the first half that at times looked slow and sluggish from Forest, but once they found their stride, Malmo no match for the two-time European champions Nottingham Forest, who now spread the ball forward, and here now they'll get it wide to Abbott. Plenty of red shirts going forward as well. Ball poked down the line. Dominguez has it. He'll get it back to Yates, who scored one and almost got a second. His header led to the second goal as well. But Forest dominating here. Possession, stats and scoreboard all in favour of those all in red tonight, Nottingham Forest. The Rangers have got a penalty. We'll find out if that goes in. Cross into the area is headed partially away. Ball with Malmo, though. They'll clear it. Well, they won't. Murillo takes it. You are listening to Nottingham Forest against Malmo in the Europa League live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent a Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. Forest 2-0 up. Forest on the attack. Here now is a late chance. Ball should be cleared away. It's gone out of play. Let's get up to Ibrox then and see if Rangers can convert this penalty in front of Paul Mitchell.
And it's James Tavernier who takes 2 steps back, a third step back to face the Czechia goalkeeper, who's bouncing on his line. Stoppage time at Ibrox. Rangers have not been ahead in any of their group stage matches so far. A little shuffle from Tavernier, steps up, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, thrashes the ball into the net. Delight around Ibrox. Rangers need to win tonight, and they've got a goal in stoppage time in the first half. From the penalty spot, James Tavernier. Rangers 1, Braga 0.
Brilliant stuff. The goals as they're going in the Europa League as well tonight. Here the half-time whistle has gone at the City Ground, and it is Nottingham Forest who lead Malmo by 2-0. Ryan Yates opened the score in 28 minutes in. Cross from the right, found the Forest man, and he side-footed in from 14 yards, giving Elborg no chance. That was really the beginning of the end for Malmo, who just sat deeper and deeper, and there was a first goal in red for Arno Calimuendo, who was on the spot after Yates' header was beautifully saved by Elborg, but there was Calimuendo to turn it in. So far so good for Forest, just like in Germany 46 years ago. It's Forest who are on top. It's half-time here at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 2, Malmo 0.
Mark, thank you very much. Yeah, it's turning into a comfortable game here at the City Ground then for Forest, who are looking to make it 3 unbeaten under Sean Dyche in this competition. And as I say, it is so far so good. Let's just talk through then this first half, shall we? And Dean Ashton, it took a little while for Forest obviously to get on that score sheet, mainly part, I suppose, due to the sort of shape of Malmo. They made it difficult for Forest to break through, but once they did, it felt like a matter of time that they'd go on and score another.
Yeah, and they were a bit clunky, I felt, in the opening stages. Nottingham Forest, a lot of changes, obviously players that might not have played a lot of football, match readiness, but once they warmed up and got into the game and started to play with a bit more urgency, a bit more quality, they showed that against a weak Malmo side. And to be honest, it's amazed me just how the difference in physicality, just how much stronger Forest look than Malmo. They're just brushing players aside, and eventually once they got the goal, they've completely dominated since then.
I mean, it seems obvious to say it, but it does feel there's a huge gulf in class as well between the two teams, just in general. Yeah,
I mean, look, obviously Forest have spent a lot of money on assembling their squad and have got some genuine quality international players. Malmo, not quite as much. Janssen has had a fantastic career, but he's coming towards the end and he's finding it difficult against the pace of Kalamoendo. And it was more just about Forest, it was less about Malmo. I think we could tell pretty early on that they weren't going to cause too many problems for Milenkovic, Morato and Murillo. It was down to Forest and how they could break them down, and once they did, it's seemed quite easy for them since then.
How impressed have you been with Zach Abbott at 19 years old, making his first full start for Forest in this competition as well? I think we talk about it all the time about teenagers, in the sense that once they're picked to play a part in a team, they fit in seamlessly, and it seems as though he's enjoying it out there.
He is. I mean, he probably can't believe his luck that nobody's marking him, and he's got the freedom to just raid down the right-hand side. He's got involved. What I've liked about him is he's made a couple of mistakes. He's crossed the ball into the goalkeeper or over the back of the goal, and you could be forgiven for saying a young player might stop doing those things and regress slightly. He hasn't. Kept asking for the ball, kept looking to cross, been a threat, had a shot. Been really impressed with his positivity.
OK, Dean, for now, thank you very much. It is then Forest to lead Malmo here at the City Ground by 2-0. Let's just run you through what happened earlier on today, where Aston Villa beat Young Boys 2-1 in the Europa League as well, and Celtic and a fabulous victory at Feyenoord as they won that one 3-1. And in the Conference League earlier on, the Irish side Shelbourne lost 2-0 at AZ Alkmaar. So I mentioned that result for Celtic. Well, what about their rivals in Glasgow, Rangers, who are taking on Braga? It's now half-time at Ibrox. Paul Mitchell.
Rangers 1, Braga 0. Rangers had to endure a torrid opening half hour in which the goalkeeper Jack Butland had to make 2 cage saves, both from Ricardo Horta, who'd scored over the road at Celtic Park earlier on this season. But Rangers brightened up after the half hour. They started to create a few chances. Conor Bannon was starting to prod the ball around, so too was JD Gassama. But Rangers got a break right on half time. Penalty given against Fran Navarro for handball in the box, and skipper James Tavernier, who was on 20 European goals for Rangers, stepped up and stroked home number 21 in his 107th appearance, equalling Alan McCoy's Rangers record of 21 goals in European football, although Ali will point out he did it in 54 games. Well, I would point out that James Tavernier is a defender who takes penalties. But Rangers ahead for the first time in any of the match days so far in the group stages, and that's vital. They need all 3 points here tonight. They're certainly on the right track at the moment. Rangers 1, Braga 0.
Things looking good for Rangers then this evening. What about in the Conference League? Aberdeen lead Noah by 1-0 at half-time. And Shamrock Rovers are a goal down to Shakhtar Donetsk at home in their encounter. And also on Talksport 2 right now, it's so far so good for Crystal Palace in Strasbourg.
Mateta grappling on the edge of the penalty area. He does really well, Mateta. Brilliant strength from him. Into Tyreek Mitchell. Chance for Palace. And Tyreek Mitchell finds the bottom corner. An unlikely goal-scoring hero. The left wing-back for Palace breaks the deadlock. But it was all about the hold-up play of Jean-Philippe Mateta on the edge of the penalty area. And he still had the mindset to play the perfect through ball for Tyreek Mitchell, who fires into the bottom corner. It's his second goal of the season, and it is Strasbourg 0, Crystal Palace 1.
Yeah, that's the goal from Tyreek Mitchell then that has given Palace a half-time lead. Adam Wharton, though, has had to come on to replace Will Hughes at around the half-hour mark in this one. And Ben Chilwell, who now plays for Strasbourg, has also come on just before half-time as Liam Rosenior rings the changes, perhaps in the hope to try and get a positive result in this one. You can tune into second-half commentary with Alex Crook and Leanne Sanderson. That's over on Talksport 2. You're tuning in to the Europa League Live on Talksport, though, with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. Coming up next, we'll bring you all the details from Villa Park as Aston Villa took on Young Boys.
So how was Japan? Your big once-in-a-lifetime trip?
Unreal. Paid with my new Lloyds Ultra credit card. Got 1% cash back on purchases, flights, hotel, the lot.
But
use it for my everyday spending too. No foreign exchange fees.
Did you visit
the ATMs? Yep. No cash withdrawal fees either.
What about the... Never mind.
Lloyds Ultra. The credit card for every day and one day. Representative 12.9% APR variable, 0.25% cashback after first year. T's and C's apply. UK residents 18 plus.
Selco today. See in store for details.
Kev, it's Black Friday madness. Customers, calls, emails.
Then you need something built for busy, like iPhone 17. And right now, you can save £144 on a 36-month plan in EE's Black Friday sale. iPhone 17, a delight at work, even when your coffee's gone cold.
Nice one, Kev. Have a fresh hot coffee on me.
Search EE Business today. BT and EE, better for business.
Excludes 20% VAT. Ends 4th December. Terms apply.
Want to hear something incredible? If you want big slots like Fire and Rose's Joker, Big Bass Splash, Immortal Romance 2, and over 1,000 more, with even bigger offers, like a welcome bonus up to £150. Then play incredible at 32 Red. 18 plus, begambleaware.org. New accounts only. Minimum £10 deposit. Up to 50 times wagering. Max stakes apply. Visit 32red.com for full terms.
Amazon Black Friday week deals up to 40% off. Get the perfect gift for your father-in-law. The Deal Hunter. If only he knew about the deal you got on his gift. He would embrace you, just like he does deals. Oh, I guess we're hugging now. Well, that's a long hug. Oh, it's still going. Oh, it's a Black Friday week hug. It's a deal hug. Up to 40% off this Amazon Black Friday week. Ends 1st of December.
Play Final One Standing by William Hill. It's free to play, with a new league kicking off every Premier League match week. Enter and make your first pick before the start of the first round, then pick a new team before each following round. You can only pick each team once, and if you're the final one standing, then the jackpot is yours. Final One Standing by William Hill. Football's ultimate elimination game. 18 plus, runs EPL season. One active league at a time unless prize £100,000 or more. Minimum prize £1,000. Prizes vary and apply to public leagues only. Prize split if all lose in the same round. Pay within 48 hours. Online. Full T's and C's at williamhill.com. Play responsibly.
TV's biggest phenomenon, Landman, is back on Paramount Plus.
Every dime you ever made, I pumped it out of the ground.
In this business, you have to get your hands dirty.
Embezzlement, insurance fraud, wire fraud.
Because playing by the rules can get you killed.
You gotta blow!
Billy Bob Thornton.
I run the company. She owns it.
Demi Moore.
I want success.
And Sam Elliott.
What's the plan here? It's about to come to a head.
Landman, new season. Stream exclusively on Paramount Plus. T's and C's apply. Subscription required. 18 plus.
Whatever kind of football fan you are, Talksport and the Coral Daily Download are here for it to celebrate the fans every day. Whether you're a front row seater or a prawn sandwich eater, a half and half scarf wearer or a lifelong faithful torchbearer, a retro shirt for every game or bare-chested, even in the rain. For all the latest news, reaction and odds this season, don't miss the Coral Daily Download every morning from 6 on Talksport with Coral. We're here for the fans. 18 plus, gambleaware.org. Europa League live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it. King of football commentary. Kickoff live on Talksport.
A long time has passed since Forest were champions of Europe, but they are memories that remain vivid here in this part of the world, and what a great celebration tonight as well for the Malmo players who were European Cup finalists themselves. Well, here's a chance for Yates from the edge of the box, and he strokes it in. Milenkovic laid it back, and Ryan Yates, the local lad, on a famous night for Forest. It's going to be floated towards the far post. Free header! Oh, what a save! Yates header, but it's turned in on the line, and Calimundo has his first Forest goal.
Yeah, a dominant first half then for Nottingham Forest against Malmo here at the City Ground as they lead 2-0 live on Talksport in the Europa League. Let's check in with the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Yeah, so as I say, a dominant performance already by Forest, and the odds reflect that as well because they're 15-8 on to win this one after the 90 minutes. If you think Malmo can make a comeback, then their best price at 9-2. And the suggestions of no further goal is a price at 13-5. That was the latest odds with Ladbrokes. It's 18 and over. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds Update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get a free bet every week of the season and a big boost every day. That's Ladisfaction. Minimum £5 bet. Conditions apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
So the second half to come, but the Forest team have already made their way out, as have Malmo. Very quickly, it finished 2-1 to Aston Villa against Young Boys. The game was live over on Talksport 2 earlier.
Look, they deserved their win. In the end, the scoreline was closer than it should have been. However, the game wasn't. The game, for 75, 80 minutes, it was all Villa. Young Boys, when they made a few changes, second half, just trying to get back in the game, actually had their best moments and scored a very good goal, had one chalked off. However, it was a pretty routine, pretty comfortable night for Aston Villa. They could and perhaps should have scored more, but that puts them in a very, very respectable position now in this Europa League table.
Yeah, Donyell Marlin getting both goals for Aston Villa then, and it's fired them up to second in the table as things stand. There were some unsavoury scenes during the game which led to a pause in that match, but in the end they did go on to win it. So the teams are out here at Forest then, so let's hand you over to your commentary team ahead of this one. It is Dean Ashton alongside Mark Wilson.
Cheers, Natalie. Two teams out, no changes yet from either manager. Forest leading by 2-0, and Forest attacking from left to right as we look down from our main stand vantage point here. The Malmo fans are down the far right hand side. Malmo in a very similar Manchester City strip, the light blue shirt and socks and the white shorts as well. All red tonight for Forest, the strip that they won the European Cup final back in 1979 in the all red. And so far tonight it's getting the job done. Victor is the keeper for Forest. The back four, Morato, Murillo, Milenkovic and Abbott. Yates and Sangare holding. Hudson-Odoi, Dominguez and McAtee behind. Kalimuendo has got his first Nottingham Forest goal tonight. And on the other side of the coin, Malmo, they've got Elborg in goal. Striger, Juric, Janssen and Rosler the back four. Haksabanovic and Skogmar holding with Bullin, Berg Johnson and Busanello behind Daniel Gudjonsson, who leads the line. And Malmo have got an early free kick here and a chance to launch the ball into the penalty area. It's about 40 yards out from goal. It's about 10 in from the left touchline. They managed one shot in the first half. Can they match that here with an opportunity? Forest sitting about 20 yards out from goal. Ball delivered in. It's not the worst delivery. A Forest player went down and the referee gives a free kick. So Malmo's early opportunity comes to nothing. Dean Ashton, what do you think that Sean Dyche would have said at half-time to his team?
That he wants professionalism. He wants standards to be continued to be set with his team. I think he'll want another goal. He'll want the fans to be entertained with goals against a poor Malmo side, and he'll want to be able to make changes. I'm sure. I didn't see anything in the first half to say Malmo will get back into it. So it's about Forest's performance.
Yeah, you mentioned changes. There were 7 changes from the side that won at Anfield at the weekend, but the likes of Nico Williams, Elliot Anderson, Dan Ndoye, Igor Jesus, Nicolas Savonia, all on the bench for Forest. If Dyche wants to change it up, he can do. Not quite the same luxury for the 24-time Swedish champions. And now Forest attacking, looking to add to their tally. And they have it midway inside the Malmo half. Ball works out to Abbott, who's had a pleasing first European start. Here now, the ball whipped in by Sangare, just a little bit too deep above Hudson-Odoi and behind for a goal kick. So, I mean, goals could be crucial tonight. We mentioned that Forest had initially dropped out of the qualification places for the knockout stages, Dean. You know, goal difference could come into it. I guess it is an opportunity to pick up a few tonight.
It feels that way. It feels that way, that I think they're going to create more chances. Created plenty in the first half, 14 shots and 7 on target. Was a really good return in that first half. More of the same. You'd expect goals, and you can freshen things up as Malmo start to tire. And you're right, you just don't know what it's going to come down to. Tonight did feel like a big game, though, for them to jump up that league table.
Yeah, well, elsewhere tonight, Rangers leading Braga by 1-0 over on Talksport 2 right now with Alex Crook and the former England women's striker Leanne Sanderson. Crystal Palace lead against Strasbourg, 1-0 there. Mitchell with a goal Elsewhere in the AFL, Grimsby 0, Tranmere 1. And Aberdeen lead Noah in the Conference League as well. Up at Aberdeen tonight, looking for a win for them. Ball out of play over on the far side, and the referee, I think, has deemed that was a foul over on the far side, and the referee will go across and check the Malmo play. Looks in a bit of discomfort, actually. He's stayed down here.
It was a real awkward one for Boylan. I think as Murillo got a tiny touch on the ball, but slight scissor motion. It was more how he landed, though. I think he twisted his ankle as he landed.
I think he got his ankle caught underneath, didn't he? And he stayed down. He does look in a lot of... He looks in a lot of pain. He's got his hands over his eyes. Murillo has gone across and apologised. It was more after the fact, wasn't it, as they both fell to the ground, that the contact took place.
Yeah. But it's incredibly painful when you roll your ankle and possibly strain your ligaments. It is horrible.
It's got a stoppage in play here. Gives us a good opportunity to tell you what's coming up on the Talksport Network. Tomorrow night, we're back in the Championship. Your home of the EFL, Talksport 2, Oxford Ipswich. Live 8 o'clock kickoff. Jim Proudfoot and the former Arsenal man Adrian Clark. Saturday, more Championship action, a double header. Stoke take on Hull. Live at Talksport 2 at 12:30. Joe Shannon, Courtney Sweetman, Kirk will be there. That'll be followed by Coventry, the leaders, 10 points clear at the top. They take on Charlton, who've had a week to forget, haven't they? Been beaten heavily twice. They go to the league leaders on Saturday in Dancer. And Perry Grove's our commentary team there. All the goals as they go on Saturday from 1 o'clock. Game day live with Adrian Durr, Troy Deeney and Martin Keown. And at 8 o'clock we've got an exclusive national radio commentary on Talksport as Spurs take on Fulham. Faye Carruthers, Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce, our team there. The Malmo player is still getting treatment here. It is, of course, a big rematch from that European Cup final 46 years ago, and we've got a big rematch coming up in the Talksport Darts World Championship, haven't we? Natalie the Destroyer Sawyer taking on Darren the Truth Ben. Have you got your ticket yet, Dean?
I want one, I know that.
They'll get you on the guest list, I did
ask her about it.
Yeah, well, can't believe she was practising in the press room at Nottingham Forest, can you? It's all that. That is, I think it's the 10th, isn't it? The day before the PDC World Darts Championship starts. And that, of course, will be live and exclusive across the Talksport network. Talksport 2 and the Talksport Darts YouTube page. Every dart will be live. Right, this is a bit of a sad moment because it looks like Boleyn's night is over. His ankle heavily strapped. He's trying to hobble down the far touchline. They're readying a change here, Malmo. And that, you hope there, Dean, it didn't look very nice. You're just hoping it's probably not as bad as it looked at first glance there. Come back to you in a minute because Forrest are on the attack. Ball whipped in towards the far post. Should be kept in by Hudson-Odoi. Level with the edge of the 18-yard box, whips it in. And it's cleared away, and it might go out for a throw-in over on the far side. I dare say it's going to take Boleyn a long time to walk round. He's been substituted off here. First change of the night. And that will mean that Emmanuel Ikong, who played in the last game against Panathinaikos, comes on. But that's a sad end to the night for Boleyn.
Yeah, you hope it's nothing more than a sprained ankle, a couple of weeks, and a black and blue ankle. It's a shame to miss out. Difficult for him to get into the game. Ikong with an opportunity.
He certainly has. And he will... We're hoping to get more of the ball than the gentleman he replaced. Forest continuing to dominate possession here. They have it on halfway. Still 2-0. We'll keep you up to date with all the other goals as they go in the games involving our teams. But so far, so good. Earlier on, a massive win for Celtic. 3-1 at Feyenoord. I don't think too many people saw that one coming. And Villa 2-1 winners over Young Boys on a controversial night at Villa Park. Scenes off the field marring that one. I'm sure there'll be more to come out about that. As Johnson did well initially to hold up the ball, but he's eased off it and Forest have won it back. And now the ball will work its way down towards this near side. Good play again from Forest. And Olga Johnson, it's been a baptism of fire, hasn't it, so far?
That's about 6 times now. He thinks he's got the touch and can take it forwards, and then he just gets shoulder to shoulder with a Nottingham Forest defender, bounces off them, loses the ball, hasn't been able to get into the game whatsoever.
No, he hasn't. It's not been a lack of trying. He just Hasn't got the presence, it feels, at the moment. Forest have got a throw-in down below us. They lead 2-0. Sean Dyche is still on the edge of his technical area. He's not moved all night. Also out there is Anis Maravac, who we might see in the Championship. Rumours that he's going to be part of the coaching staff at Middlesbrough. Ball whipped in Milenkovic, looking to the far post, and it was a header. It was a horrible header from Striga, and it goes back rather fortunately to his goalkeeper. It could have gone anywhere. It went straight to the keeper. It's still 2-0.
Yeah, what they don't want to do is just aimlessly cross the ball in. Forest, they've got to work it a bit more to Hudson-Odoi or to Dominguez. That's where they've got the joy really in the game, is moving it quickly out wide rather than just playing that in like Milenkovic tried to.
Yeah, there's not a lot coming back at Nottingham Forest at the moment in terms of Malmo attack, and you could imagine that they may just ease off a little bit, but I'm sure the big crowd here, sold out crowd at the City Ground, will want more goals for their team as they look to rise up the Europa League stage. As Janssen playing at the back was almost caught in possession. It's slow, it's ponderous, and it's dangerous, and now throwing for Nottingham Forest. Look, if you're going to play about in that part of the field, Dean, you've got to be a little bit better, a little bit quicker than that.
Yeah, you have. And you can just sense they're starting to lose belief, Malmo. And really, this is where Forest should exert their pressure, really pounce on them, get that third goal.
Yeah, well, Sangare gave it away and he wins it straight back. Now he feeds it forward. McAtee, options around him, went for the shot. Balloons up off a defender. Jansen's gone down. I think he's hurt here. He threw everything in front of it. I'm not sure. Referee stopped it here. It's a leg injury. But I think the referees deem this is quite serious. But Jansen has stopped rolling around once the whistle's gone, and he's going to get back on his feet, I think.
Yeah, I think it was just a follow-through from McAtee, actually. As he went to strike through it, McAtee, he's then caught Jansen on the shin with the studs. It was pretty unpleasant. No malice whatsoever in that. He was so close to McAtee when he took the shot.
There was Jansen just explaining what happened to the referee. You are listening to Nottingham Forest against Malmo in the Europa League, live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. And Sean Dyche, I think, is... Well, they're in deep conversation. I wonder if they are about to make a change here. The subs are warming up away to our left. Maybe he just feels he wants to make some changes early on in the piece here. They have got Brighton here at the weekend. Goal over on Talksport 2. Not good news for Crystal Palace. Strasbourg have equalised. It's Strasbourg 1, Crystal Palace 1. As the ball played across field. You can listen to that live on Talksport 2 with Alex Crook and Leanne Sanderson right now. So they've been pegged back. Ball now with Forest again. They're continuing to have possession, but it's probably rather reminiscent to the start of the first half where they didn't offer a great deal. There might be a chance here now. Kalimuendo almost in. Just has to hold it up. Had Abbott on the overlap, but they'll go back to Sangare. Finds Kalimuendo now. Can he whip in across? He's just level with the edge of the penalty area. Sangare now will drop his shoulder, looks to go down the right touchline, tries to force a pass in, it feeds back to Kalimuendo, did well to control it. He gets it to Morato, he finds Murillo, encouraged to shoot, but opts not to. They'll get the pass out wide, patient build-up. Here's Hudson-Odoi. Nice little bit of skill as he goes up against Striga. Ball laid back, whipped in, not the best ball in, cleared away edge of the area and then hoofed clear. And it's one-on-one, Johnson up against Morato. And Morato will acrobatically volley it back to his goalkeeper, John Victor, who, to be quite frank, Dean, could put his kit back in the bag now and it wouldn't need washing,
Yeah,
would it?
He could. You're absolutely right. Murillo's playing as a left-back, but crossing like a centre-back. About 4 times now he's got into that position and it's been a poor cross.
Yeah. There's Kalimuendo, nice bit of skill. He'll win his side a corner. He's looked lively, hasn't he, tonight? He had a couple of nice touches prior to his goal as well.
Yeah, I think he's been really sharp. Really looked to take his opportunity, given the starting role. He had a good scoring record at Rennes.
Yeah, paid a decent fee for him, and he's shown tonight why, I think. And that goal, a nice goal from close range, good finish. And now Forest looking for a third. Corner delivered. It's floated towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's headed up in the air by Malmo. Murillo will head it back on the volley. Blocked, and a chance here. If the offside flag doesn't go up, it's turned in. Milenkovic. Malmo are appealing for a handball, but Milenkovic has slammed it in from close range, and Forest have got a third goal. Finally, a set piece leads to a goal for Forest. It's Forest 3, Malmo 0.
And again, it's that man Yates that's involved, as the ball was ballooned up in the air. Murillo it was that headed it towards the back post, and Yates was there on the side volley. I mean, he could have had a hat-trick, couldn't he? But again, the deflection just falls. So fortunate for a Forest player. Milenkovic, who just stayed in the box, had pinned the defender. It's going to be close, and it will be checked. The offside, but he had the simplest of tasks. Once it hit the defender, just to pop it past Elborg in the Malmo goal.
Yeah, just from that one particular angle we saw there, it does look like he could have been offside, but we will find out in a moment. They are checking this one.
Yeah, and I think he'll be checked as it whether it hits his hand or not. I think Janssen thinks it hits the hand, whether it does or not. His hand was right close to his body. So easy in the end just to pop it into the empty net, because Elborg had gone and dived towards Yates's shot that was deflected.
We are checking the goal right now here. Forest are adamant it was handball. Malmo are adamant it was handball anyway, so if it wasn't offside they'd want it disallowed for that reason, but I just wonder if it hit the inside of his leg. Milenkovic, I think the big question here first is the offside, and they are having a look. We've not seen any lines on the field. We've seen a replay, but it was in real time, and it's not always the easiest to see it. So we await the decision here. The official are waiting for the VAR to confirm or not. Malmo will be hoping this is ruled out, because if not, it could be a long old night for them. The goal is being checked. Oh, I think he's an inch offside. His foot's just off, isn't it?
It's basically when you take your step, isn't it? It's the timing of your step nowadays as to whether you're offside. And Milenkovic, with those big size 12s, probably just strayed. It is so close though, and again they'll look at the handball as well.
Yeah, well, they've got to clear the offside first. Goal stands, so Milenkovic celebrates. Forest have 3 goals, and surely a big win for Sean Dyche as they look to keep this little run going here. And Malmo now, Dean Ashton, are in a world of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, they look to beat inside anyway. Could be more soon.
Yeah, here goes McAtee, feeds it to Hudson-Odoi. Has to just get it out of his feet. Looks for the shot, tries to float one, hits the top of the crossbar and bounces behind for a goal kick. It looked like the initial chance had gone, but Hudson-Odoi finessed a shot round and over, but landed on top of the crossbar. Still 3-0.
Cheeky, wasn't it, from Hudson-Odoi? Thought the chance had gone, the pass was just overhit, managed to control it. You think, just go and lay it back to the edge of the area or clip it to the back post. Just stood the defenders up, shifted it just half a yard, and then just tried to caress it into that far top corner and bouncing off the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, ball played forward by Malmo. They've given away a free kick foul over on the far side on Murillo. And it will be a free kick. Norwich have equalised against Aberdeen. 1-1 in the Conference League. That's round 4, match day 4 there. It's 1-1, it's 1-1. Strasbourg Palace, that's over on Talksport 2 right now. Rangers lead Braga by a goal to 0. Tavernier's penalty, the difference there right on half-time. And Tranmere 1 up at Grimsby. That is coast to coast, that, isn't it? On a Thursday night. Tranmere to Grimsby, the width of the country apart. Here 3-0, and there's a gulf between these two. They were equals when they met in the European Cup final 46 years ago. They're anything but it now, the haves and the have-nots, and it's Forest who are strutting their stuff here. We're not necessarily getting out of second gear. They lead by 3 goals to 0. Sangari's hit one from fully 40 yards out. Keeper scampered across his line. It was always going wide, but well, is that overconfident, Dean Ashton?
Yes. I would just say that's the game's in the bag, why not? That would actually really annoy me. Again, just as a striker, I just think why take that on? Let's build it, let's create chances, let's keep scoring goals, let's not let them off.
Well, here come Forest again. Sangare did get his first goal for Forest here a couple of weeks ago against Leeds. Here now a chance for the cross-come shot. Sliding challenge, Jansen clears it away. Both sides about to make a raft of changes as the ball played forward, and Murata will get it all the way back to his goalkeeper John Victor, who once again has to deal with a back pass. Well, I'll tell you what, Sean Dyche is not taking pity on Malmo here, because Elliot Anderson, Igor Jesus and Dan Ndoye are about to come on. This will get the crowd going, won't it? There's no easing off here from Sean Dyche and Forest. Wants more goals. That is ruthless.
Oh, it is. You know, when you've got younger players, squad players, you could give an opportunity to. Not at all. I think he just really wants to set standards, doesn't he, Sean Dyche, at this football club? And that means being ruthless at times.
Yeah, it does. Ball out of play over on the far side. Here come the changes. While those changes have been made, let's head up to Ibrox and see how Rangers are getting on in the second half with Paul Mitchell.
Well, it's Rangers 1, Braga 0, but a red card is about to come out, and it's coming out for the Uruguayan international. And Rodrigo Salazar is ordered off at Ibrox. He was involved with a tussle with Nico Raskan. The referee didn't see anything. Play continued. VAR brought it to his attention. And as a result, here at Ibrox, after 61 minutes, it's Rangers who lead 10-man Braga by 1-0.
Cheers, Paul. We'll keep you up to date with that one. Right, coming into the action, Igor Jesus. He will replace the goal scorer, Arno Canibuendo, who gets a rapturous reception here. We're also going to see Nicola Dominguez. He is replaced. On in his place comes Dan Ndoye, and the final change will be Elliot Anderson, who replaces Ibrahim Sangare. So ruthless stuff from Sean Dyche. He's bringing on the big guns. 3-0 up. More misery for the visitors. Malmo have just made a couple of changes. Anders Christensen and Kenan Buzalagic have both come on. But this, a statement of intent from Sean Dyche. If you think the job's done at 3-0 and you can have the rest of the night off, fellas, wants a little bit more from his side, and really well received that from the fans. They don't want it to peter out. As you said, they want to see some more goals.
No, but with the position of the game, then take off. Certainly Sangare. But you're right, it's so positive, isn't it? It is sort of saying, right, we're going to go and get more goals, and the importance of those goals and the importance of the standards that he wants to set and the competition for places.
Yeah, ball played forward by Forest. They'll pick it up in the heart of the midfield. They'll work it out towards the near side. McAtee now operating on the right. He's got Abbott overlapping. McAtee cuts in field. Plenty of red shirts getting forward here. Murillo has it, will feed it to Hudson-Odoi, level with the edge of the area, left-hand side, cuts it back onto his right, goes again, looks to square it to the edge of the area. Yates almost got the shot away, but it was cleared, and Milenkovic will just tidy things up. Elliot Anderson will go back to his goalkeeper, and here is John Victor. Equaliser, Blundell Park, Grimsby 1, Tranmere 1, quarter of the game to go there in League 2. There's the ball with Forest again. McAtee will look to bring it forward, but his pass looking for Hudson-Odoi on the far side is misplaced, and it's going to be interesting now how this game does pan out, because there really is there seems to be an upping of the pace from Nottingham Forest. They really do want some more goals here,
and why not? I think it can be sometimes just too easy to think we'll take off the gas. People have paid good money to be here. It's a special night. Give the fans something to enjoy. Chance for players to get confidence up as well leading into the weekend.
Yeah, just a really poignant moment, was it, when we saw those great heroes here. And all the Malmo team were here as well. They made the trip over as well, that played in that 1979 Cup final. Just reminds me of times, like West Ham, their players in however many years' time, they're going to get the chance to go back and celebrate that Europa Conference League win. Clubs, the fans don't forget, do they?
No, they don't. Well, I was fortunate enough to play in a showpiece final, FA Cup final for West Ham, and I'm going to milk it, even though we didn't win it.
Yeah, well, it was a great final, in fairness.
Yeah, it was.
It was. Here's a chance for Malmo, advancing forward here. Haksabanovic, who had the Malmo shot in the first half, brings it forward, but Forest tidied it up. The likes of John McGovern, Peter Shilton, Viv Anderson, Ringun, Frank Clark, Ian Boyer, Gary Birtles, Tony Woodcock, John O'Hare, Colin Barrett and Gary Mills, all present tonight, and all the Malmo side as well. Might not have enjoyed the game, the Malmo fellas, but they'll have enjoyed the bit that went before it. They got a tremendous reception. 3-0 here for Forest. Goals for Yates, Kalimuendo and Milenkovic. They've got Forest in front and they're in the mood for more. Hudson-Odoi down the touchline again, cuts in onto that right foot, lays it back for Yates. Yates with a shot straight at the keeper. Elborg delighted to get one that went straight into his midriff rather than in the back of his net.
Yeah, he's been such a threat, Yates, whether it has been arriving late in the penalty area, whether it's from set plays or the edge of the area. He's one of those, great attitude, great professional. He'll really understand what Sean Dyche wants, and he's probably the perfect type of player for the new manager.
Yeah, they've given it away, and now a free kick for Malmo. We've got 21 minutes left. You're live on Talksport, your home of Game Day Live on a Saturday. We've got 3 exclusive commentaries, 12:30 and 3 o'clock in the Championship, 8 o'clock Tottenham Fulham exclusively live from the Premier League, and all the goals as they go in every Saturday with Adrian Durham and the team. Looking forward to that, and all the goals as they go in on a Sunday as well now with Sam Matterface. Dean will be at Villa Wolves on Sunday. Might see a few goals there as well, dare I say it.
Just never know with those sort of games, do you? Just never know. We do know in this one, Malmo have been so surprised at how weak they've been, both physically, I think technically really, in the game. They've been so far off Nottingham Forest, and like you said, they've not had to really exert themselves, Forest.
No, they haven't. 3-0, 20 remaining here. Sean Dyche still looking on. I think it's fair to say he's making positive impacts here, isn't he, Sean Dyche, at the City Ground?
Yes, yeah, I think it's the type of support that will certainly appreciate his philosophies of working hard, earning the right to be in the team. But they've got some quality in this Forest squad, and they'll want to continue to unlock that.
Yeah, plenty available. No Gibbs White tonight, got a knock. They didn't risk him. That was always going to be a change, but 7 in total. But Forest are still going to pick up the points as Abbott goes forward, lays the ball off on the edge of the Malmo area and advances. He had a couple of shots himself. Ball played over the top, was looking for McAtee. Anderson's pass was overhit, and he'll roll behind for a goal kick. And I think if you offered Malmo 3-0 and an early bath, they'd take it now. They're struggling a little bit here.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the gulf is huge, and they're not able to really build any play themselves whatsoever.
20 shots to 1. 65 final third entries to 12 in favour of Nottingham Forest tonight. They have dominated, 74% possession. It's been over an hour since Malmo had a shot. It was always going to be a big ask, and a big ask it has been. Here now forward goes Ndoye down the left. Good sliding challenge goes in, but it's a goal kick. Well done. Pontus Jansson wins the challenge and wins the ball as well. Just looking there, is that Murillo just feeling the back of his hamstring? It looked like it.
Yeah, a little bit. I think there's suddenly a bit of hurried activity from the coaching staff. That's the worry, isn't it? You just think the game's gone. Someone like him or Milenkovic, why wouldn't you take them off?
All played forward. Sean Dyche about to bring Nico Williams into the action. Oh, there's a bit of a miscommunication there, and Elliot Anderson is going to get booked here because as Malmo all of a sudden had a chance to break, Anderson has just dragged back the Malmo attacker. He has taken one for the team there, but they both left it for each other, the two Forest players, and in the end it's a foul and a much needed one on Haksabanovic.
Yeah, it was sharp, wasn't it? in terms of reading the situation, but poor from Anderson in particular, just on his heels as Murillo goes down, and it is that hamstring.
Yeah, he's going to get treatment. There's been another goal up at Ibrox. Rangers were in front against Braga. Is that still the case, Paul Mitchell?
No, it is not, Mark. It is Rangers 1, 10-man Braga 1. Remember, 8 minutes ago, Zalsar got sent off for brushing the head of Nico Raskan. Enough movement to make it a red card. But Rangers have just conceded a horrible goal. Giga has just headed the ball straight into the path of Gabriel Martinez. And Martinez, who scored at Celtic Park just a month ago, gets on the score sheet here. It's Rangers 1, Braga 1.
Not good for Rangers then. Will they get themselves back in front? We will find out. Murillo has been replaced. Gets a warm handshake off Sean Dyche. Hopefully that hamstring nothing more than a twinge as Nico Williams comes into the action. Malmo have got a free kick here, 30 yards out from goal, and a rare attacking chance for them. Will John Victor be called into action here? The goalkeeper. This game brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. 3-0 Forest lead, but Malmo with a chance. Their fans still sing. We'll have something more to sing about here. Ball delivered towards the far post, and a good header at the far post, and a foul. I think it was Janssen who jumped and pushed at the back post, and the referee's having none of that. And a rare foray forward comes to a free kick for Forest. I haven't seen the replay. I'm not sure he did a lot wrong there, Pontus Janssen.
Not really. But again, not a threat from Malmo.
Forest have it. Abbott on halfway. His legs will be sore in the morning. He's done some running up and down. He does well to find Anderson, and Anderson gets it away here to Murata. He gets it away, and Forest looking to attack. You're live on Talksport. Mark Wilson, Dean Ash and Natalie Sawyer live at the City Grounds. Forest cruising. Yates, Kalimuendo, Milenkovic with the goals inside the opening hour. I mean, Sean Dyche is going to get another win. They won 3-0 at Anfield on Saturday, 3-0 tonight. Now Hudson-Odoi, who's just come in field now, gets it away to McAtee. He tried to feed it through for Jesus, who scored 3 goals already in the Europa League campaign for Forest. Oh, lovely play on the far side. Forest win it back. Beautiful footwork from Anderson. Anderson just up and down that touchline. Gets it away here. Forest fans enjoyed that particular bit of quality. Yates gets it away now. They'll feed it edge of the box. Here's a chance. McAtee's got in behind. Tried to stand it up for Jesus. And it's cleared away. And Malmo rocking again defensively. You just get the feeling if Forest really went after it here, they could add some more goals, as Hudson-Odoi almost picked it up on the edge of the box. And now a chance to come forward, and Abbott might get himself a booking here because he's brought down the on-rushing Bussanello, and he will draw a yellow card from the official's pocket. It was one of those, if he didn't make it, he was in a bit of trouble, so he decided to take the man and then look at the ball.
Yeah, he was all in, wasn't he, Abbott? There. Again, just feeling his calves a little bit. This will be a big step up for him. And he just got caught out there, and you're right, he decided just to take the man out rather than let him go and run down the left-hand side. Yeah. But these sort of games, they are quite strange. I think the most Forest players will be thinking we can just, get through this game now, nothing silly. As a striker, you're thinking, come on, I want more goals, I want opportunities. It feels like they're there. The supporters feel the same. But there isn't that jeopardy anymore.
Yeah, well, it is going to be a result that will lift Forest up into the qualification places. Earlier on, Aston Villa 2, Young Boys 1. That put Villa second in the Europa League table. This win for Forest, who had momentarily dropped out of the top 24, but this win will lift them all the way up to 15. So a vital win for them. I mentioned they've got a couple of tricky games to come to round off their campaign. They've got trips to Utrecht and Braga. Braga are drawing with 10 men up at Ibrox tonight. 1-1 there, and they end off at the City Ground here, Forest, as they take on Ferencváros, the Hungarian side. 3-0 though, Forest leading here. Still got 12 minutes or so to go. The initial burst of energy that was brought on by that triple substitution as Jesus and Doy and Anderson came on has just subsided a little bit. Ball played forward, Malmo headed away, and they are just starting to get a little bit more ball, a little bit higher up the field. Not threatening football, but they're getting it a bit further away from their goal. That will be a relief in itself. Tackle goes in, Hudson-Odoi wins it back with Anderson. Back to Hudson-Odoi, skips past one, past two, squares the ball centre field here. He had a chance to keep going there. Yates will get it away. He finds Morato. He advances forward. Forest looking hungry here for a fourth. Ball on the edge of the box, running across the face of goal, tries to slide it through there. That was Nico Williams. The referee's going to give a free kick right on the edge of the box here, and it's a free kick and a relieving one for Malmo. Still 3-0.
And again, though, when it becomes easy like this, players start trying things that they maybe normally wouldn't do. Nico Williams there could have a shot, could play the ball wide, could have crossed it. Instead, he's trying to find a reverse, no-look pass in through an intricate space in the he wouldn't normally do that, and that's what starts to happen in a game like this once the result is not in jeopardy.
Well, the result is in jeopardy on Talksport 2 tonight. Strasbourg 1, Crystal Palace 1, and up at Ibrox, Rangers 1, 10-man Braga 1. So plenty to play for. Aberdeen 1, no 1, and Grimsby 1, Tranmere 1. So a host of 1-alls at the moment. There's the ball with Malmo, who are just starting to play a little bit higher up the field, but you can imagine that Igor Jesus is eyeing up that space that's opening up behind them. If they can get a quick break, Forest, they might yet get a fourth. Anderson is hunting and will win the ball, much to the delight of Sean Dyche. It goes out for a throw-in. Strasbourg have turned it round. A second goal for the French side, and they are in front. Strasbourg 2, Crystal Palace 1. You can listen to the closing stages live on Talksport 2, but Oliver Glasner's side are not having it all their own way at the moment. And Palace, now that was a poor challenge from Ryan Yates, and that draws a whistle from the official there. Can we head up to Ibrox, get a latest? It was 1-1 last time we were with Paul Mitchell. How's it going now, Paul?
It remains Rangers 1, Braga 1. Rangers going ahead on half-time through a VAR intervention for a penalty kick, which James Tavernier dispatched into the back of the net. His 21st European goal, equalling the record held by Ali McCoy's here. Braga went down to 10 men when Zalazar was sent off the ball. Now, it is a head movement. It is towards Nico Raskin. I think he grazes his nose, but you don't have to hit somebody hard. It's the intent, and the red card came out. But then real poor play from Rangers after 69 minutes. Giga headed the ball straight into the path of Gabriel Martinez. He simply had to roll the ball into the back of the net. Martinez has just been booked for a free kick. She's given away. James Tavernier about to take it. The ball moves, so he decides to take a little step back. Braga, certainly the way they're playing, Mark, they just want to knock the ball about. They'd be quite happy to leave Ibrox with a point. 13 minutes to go. Let's watch this free kick from James Tavernier as he whips it in. It's easily defended, and it remains at Ibrox. Rangers 1, Braga 1.
Cheers, Paul. Rangers will go up to 33rd, but they're still 5 points outside the qualification places with only 3 games remaining. It's looking particularly tough for them. Here, job done for Nottingham Forest. They lead by 3-0, and there's about to be a big night for one of the youngsters about to make their way into the action. James Sinclair about to come on for Nottingham Forest, and Sean Dyche decides that he's going to give one of the youngsters a little bit of game time here. Ball with Malmo. They're just knocking it around at the back. They have possession on halfway. Can they produce an attack? No, they can't. What's going through his mind then? Jimmy Sinclair, the youngster, about to make his senior debut for Nottingham Forest. His side in the Europa League, 19 years of age. This is going to be a special moment.
Yeah, it is. It certainly is. A European night like this here to come on. He'll be nervous, I'm sure. What a great opportunity. And this is exactly the type of game situation that you do it in as a manager. I always think there's an opportunity missed if, as a manager, you've got young players on the bench. The game is out of reach to the opposition, that you don't give that young player the opportunity.
Yeah, well, he is coming on, and leaving the field will be James McAtee, who gets a warm ovation. Probably not been his best night, if we're honest, James McAtee, but clearly an outstanding player who will have a big part in this Forest team moving forward. But here, a youngster, Jimmy Sinclair, big cheer for the young lad coming on. Sure, some proud family are here watching on as well. 19 years of age, and he becomes a senior player for Nottingham Forest, and a bit of a carrot dangled as well by Sean Dyche. It gives him a few minutes to get used to the pace of it, and also, I guess, Dean, to show him what the standard is like when you get to the first team.
Yeah, absolutely. He's come over to this right-hand side. Hudson-Odoi's gone in as the 10. You want to get a touch, show the supporters it's a great feeling.
Here on the turn come Malmo, looking for what would only be a consolation. I think Sean Dyche should be furious if they were to score. Looked like a push on the edge of the box from Forest. They get away with it. Ball worked wide to Hudson-Odoi. Sinclair have made a run down the touchline, but they'll go back to Abbott. So we've got Abbott and Sinclair, two teenagers on this left-hand side on this right-hand side for Forest. But they've given the ball away again here. Malmo are just starting to enjoy a bit of go forward here. A chance now. Ekong driving his way through. He's gone through a couple of players, and the ball played back to the goalkeeper, John Victor, who did well under pressure. And now here is a touch for the youngster. And Sinclair goes down the sideline, tries to play it forward for Jesus. It's cleared away from him, and Malmo will get it back on halfway. But Anderson, I'll tell you what, he's not giving them a second, is he, Elliot Anderson? His standards have not dropped.
No, he's a class act, isn't he? Elevated himself, hasn't he, over the last 6 months. But you're right, Ekong got further than he should have done. It was Yates who did brilliantly to read the situation and get back in.
And there's a corner won by Forest after a good run down that far side. Over on the far side of the ground, that was Dan Ndoye, one of the substitutes who came on. Just international. And Hudson-Odoi will go and deliver the free kick. Forest leading by 3-0. We're live tomorrow, Oxford, Ipswich, live in the Championship, Talksport 2. If you've got the Talksport app, the swipe between Talksport and Talksport 2 tonight. Strasbourg 2, Palace 1. Palace were in front, but they trailed 2-1 in the closing stages. 5 left here, and Forest looking for a fourth goal. Ball whipped in again. It's not a good delivery. The set pieces, by and large, from Forest tonight, Dean Ashton, have been awful.
Yeah, it's so frustrating, isn't it, for everybody involved. Hudson-Odoi's got it back, though.
Can he do better this time? Hudson-Odoi to the edge of the area, looking to eye up a shot. Does get a shot deflected, and just wait. Didn't get a deflection. It's scuffed wide. It bobbled through a sea of bodies. Got a smile on his face, Hudson-Odoi, but he can't hit the target, and it's a goal kick.
No, he usually favours that whipped finish, doesn't he, to the far corner. Instead, he just drags it horribly wide in the end. Again, just didn't get his footwork right.
Now we're going to see Malmo making a couple of changes of their own. They're about to make changes, and it's going to be Oscar Lewicki who comes on. He will replace Adrian Skogmar, who makes way, and also coming on in the action, Oliver Berg is about to come on as well, and he gets his opportunity here with 4 minutes left. So a double change for Malmo. Lewicki comes on. And he gets his chance for the final few minutes. One more game to come before the end of the year. Oh, that was a high boot there by the youngster. Referee just has a word, and then brandishes a yellow card for Jimmy Sinclair, much to the angst of the crowd around. They're not happy with that, but I think if you raise your boot like that, you're running the risk of getting a booking.
Yeah, just caught him, didn't he? Just on the neck. Sinclair, again, you want to make an impression. You're desperate to close down and win the ball back, and just overstretched there.
3-0 then. Hasn't quite kicked on as many around the City Ground would hope, but look, the job is done. Following that great win at Anfield at the weekend, the job tonight was to get another win, enhance qualification prospects in the Europa League ahead of Brighton here at the weekend, and that ultimately is exactly what Sean Dyche's team has done.
Yeah, they've been excellent, haven't they? And and kept their levels high, which is what the manager will have wanted. Bussanello, by the way, saying to the referee, I know he's a young player, Sinclair, but he's saying, is that not a red card? He's got 2 horrible scratches on his neck, so he was clearly caught quite badly by Sinclair.
I think that probably the saving grace, he did duck a little bit, didn't he? It was a high boot, but it wasn't ridiculously high, and I think the official was all over it, and VAR could have checked it. They didn't. Malmo have got another free kick. You just wonder if there's a bit of a twist in the tail, can Malmo get a consolation? Because Forest have eased off the gas a little bit, ball into the box, headed away, and it, well, sums up Malmo's night that it was cleared and it comes off Janssen and goes behind for a goal kick. We've got a couple of minutes left. Referee's just having a word with a Forest player. Yates over on the far side. Something clearly happened. He wasn't happy about that.
I just think he just got barged, Yates, off the ball, which is what he wasn't happy with.
Inside the final 90 seconds we go here. Europa League live on Talksport. Forest getting the job done. Braga spoiling Rangers' chances tonight, down to 10, but hanging on at 1-1 into the closing stages at Ibrox as well. And over on Talksport 2, Strasbourg still lead Crystal Palace by 2-1. Malmo trying to play their way forward, and the ball over on the far side, and you wonder if Forest have shut up shop here, happy with what they've got, as Malmo attack down their right hand side. More blue shirts than ever flooding forward here. Will they get an opportunity? Kong, who's made a bit of a difference since he came on, he gets it wide on the near side. Bussanello 25 yards out, left hand side, lays it back now. A chance for Levitsky, looks for the give and go. Malmo looking for a consolation goal here. He gets spoiled Sean Dyche's mood. He wants a clean sheet. Can they hang on here? We're into the final few seconds. The official about to tell us how long he's added on as Malmo retreat back to halfway and now look to come again. Ball played over the top. Nice touch initially, edge of the box, but Morato is a big strong man and the ball is cleared away and forward into the Malmo half. Igor Jesus has not really had a lot of ball to work with. He's going to get it now. He's isolated on the touchline. He's been wrestled off the ball. Eventually gets a free kick. I thought there Buzalagic was trying to swap shirts with him on the field. 4 minutes to go, added on time.
Yeah, look, Nottingham Forest have allowed Malmo to have a certain amount of possession as they've eased off. They won't have a more comfortable victory than this all season. It's probably a real nice one for Dyche just to get through. They'll just be hoping Murillo's hamstring injury is nothing serious.
Yeah, he looked quite light-hearted, didn't he, as he went off, as there was almost a chance on the break there for Forest. You are listening to Nottingham Forest against Malmo in the Europa League, live on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it, look now at enterprise.co.uk. Here's a chance now, and into the edge of the area. Left-hand side will lay it back. Anderson, is he going to pull the trigger? Shot deflected, and at full stretch, Elborg clutches it gratefully. He's been pretty good, to be fair, Elborg. He's made a couple of nice saves with Nico Williams, actually, in the end, who had the shot. It did take a big deflection as well.
Yeah, it did. He's made a couple of worldy saves and not quite had the protection that I'm sure he will have wanted. Elborg.
Certainly the save from the Yates header when Kalimuendi turned it in. That was a brilliant save. Deserved to keep the ball out of the net, but it did, but only for a second.
Yeah, he slapped his hand on the ground just to say, how can I make such a save? And then nobody bailed me out with the second one.
Yeah, Malmo are trying to attack. They're trying to sign off on a high. It's been a miserable campaign for them. They'll stay way out of reach of the qualification spots, Malmo. Their immediate attention might be on finding a new manager to take them into the Allsvenskan season next year. John Victor, who's not had a save to make, plays the ball forward. Here's Hudson-Odoi, who's worked hard. He's shown good skill. Ball through for Jesus, just overhit as well. It looked like he had the run on Janssen, but the ball overhit. We've had 2.5 of the minimum 4 added on minutes. And it looks like it's going to end. Nottingham Forest 3, Malmo 0. But a job well done for Forest.
Yeah, outstanding in terms of their attitude. The Forest players, you've got to say, I'm not quite sure what Malmo have offered, really. I know they're season finished, I think, 18 days ago. I'd like to think they haven't been on holiday. They've not offered a lot.
I'm trying to play it through. I think Ekong had just gone a yard too soon anyway. Forest inside the final minute. Hudson-Odoi on halfway just lays it off. Forest fans thoughts turn into Brighton here on Sunday. They've got Brighton, Wolves, Everton, Utrecht and Spurs their next 5 as they look to complete their rise up the table. Crossfield ball from Anderson, but then poorly given away on the far side there by Forest. They might win it back though. And Doy, referee says play on. There were a bit of all-in wrestling there in the Malmo half, and Malmo now will look to try and find one last attack. And time ticking away. It was a night where both sides remembered that 1979 European Cup final at Nottingham Forest won by a 1-0. The late Trevor Francis, the hero on that occasion. The stakes weren't quite as high tonight, but for Sean Dyche, who looks to continue the rebuild of Nottingham Forest after a horrendous start to the season. 3 goals inside the opening hour made it a pretty straightforward night for Nottingham Forest, and they have another vital Europa League win. Malmo, their stay in the Europa League might be a short one. Sean Dyche applauds all 4 corners of the City ground. It's another big step forward, having built on that win at Anfield. Dyche made 7 changes, but Forest was still too good for their Swedish counterparts. Yates opened the scoring with a lovely side-footed finish from just inside the box on 28 minutes. Arno Calimundo got his first goal, took it in after Yates' header, wonderfully saved. That was 2-0 on half-time, and when Nikola Milenkovic fired in from close range on the hour mark, it was job done for Forest, and 3 valuable points that lifts them back into the qualification spots for the knockout stages. Job done for Forest. For Malmo, the end of their season can't come soon enough. Full time at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 3, Malmo 0.